Oh yeah, so when we start looking at how we can develop the fertility here, we look at a couple of ways that we do it. First of all, using compost, and the second way is using a green manure crop.
Oh, okay.
And I use them actually in conjunction.
Yeah.
So what we have here, this is what I call my bank.
Wow, it's a nice bank.
So around here, when people lose an animal, they generally just drag it into the scrub.
Yeah.
Anything that's around from here that people want to get rid of.
Yeah.
So dead cows or old silage or anything at all.
Yeah.
And so for us, is what we do is we put it through a process to first of all store it.
Yeah.
What I do then is when the main crops that get composted are the real hungry feeders. So that's like potatoes. The garlic is not such a hungry feeder, but it's our main crop, so it's the one I really want to look after.
Yeah.
So I don't actually put the compost before the garlic. I put it 2 or 3 years before the garlic will go there.
Oh, right, okay.
And then I'll grow a green manure crop.
Yeah.
3 green manure crops there.
Wow.
Which will then...
And we'll take a look what the green manure crop is.
Well, there's no summer ones at the moment.
No.
So the winter one we've got here at the moment. Turnip. We've got some nice big turnips here. Here you go, some turnips.
So green manure crop can consist of
turnips.
Anything really, is it? Or
well, yeah, basically. But we're looking at green manure crops: the tillage radish, turnip, rye, clovers, all the weeds that come up as well. They're freebies.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to have them.
Yeah.
This here will take the compost that we put on, and it will make it even more organic. I don't know if it is right for whatever I want it to grow. So by putting it on the paddock and then growing a green manure crop, allowing the green manure to reprocess that, then putting that green manure crop back in the ground and growing another one.
Yep. So you do a chop and drop system here to be able to put those nutrients back in the soil.
But I'm going to I let them flower.
Yeah.
I let them seed. I get all that seed back in the ground. So what we're looking at is this is actually tilling the ground.
Yeah. Preparing it.
So it's actually working the ground, but in a natural way.
And you don't harvest any of these to eat, do you? That's just solely to put those
well, no,
nutrients.
you can, but I'm generally feeding those little critters under the ground.
Yeah.
So the end product, what we do is we take the compost from that big heap there where we're storing all our stuff that comes in on the farm. Anything that's brought onto the farm needs to be composted to make sure we destroy any pathogens or antibiotics or anything like that.
Yeah.
And we then prepare the ground, plant our green manure crop, and that green manure crop will be in the ground for 3 years.
Oh, okay, yep. Before you plant your garlic.
Before we do anything else again to it.
Yeah.
So that's a summertime green manure crop: sorghum, lab, millet, cowpea, buckwheat. There's many different things like in radish as well. You can get away because you're growing them underneath it.
Yeah.
If you try growing radish at this time, if I planted radish now, it wouldn't grow because it's too hot.
Too hot, yeah.
But you grow it under sorghum, it'll grow all through the summer.
Oh, right, okay. It acts as a canopy.
Yeah, and keeps it cool. So that will grow. Then it all dies off. The sorghum, the lab is the big bean. It climbs up, pulls it all down, and it'll look like just a field of lab.
So you don't even need to chop and drop. The lab just
no, it pulls it all down.
Wow.
I'll leave that next year. The lab seeds, drop seeds.
Yep.
It all comes away again in the storms.
Yeah. Wow.
And it'll do that for 3 years. This is where most people fail with garlic, is that they overwater and over-fertilize.
Yeah.
And garlic, it does like fertility and it does like water, but if you want to grow really good quality garlic, you've got to be careful not to overlove it.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Most people do that. They end up with it rotting, or they over-fertilize it. They get these huge plants. It's all vegetative growth, and it never actually produces a bulb.
Yeah.
Once we've turned the green manure crop in, okay, we then literally just laid the garlic on the top, and we did trials with garlic and onions and potatoes and everything.
Yeah.
And then just put mulch over the top of that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we actually haven't opened the ground up at all, which is what we want to do.
Wow.
This is where you plant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then the next ones are here.
Oh, right.
All you do, I'll just do the first one. All you do is on your marks, bum down, you literally just push it in like that.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And another one.
Is there one ready to harvest now?
Oh, we can have a look, yeah. Very important before you harvest that the soil is not too moist. This was watered last night, so.
Oh, okay, yep.
So by just just starting to fill out their bulbs.
Yep.
Okay, so these guys are probably another 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
This time of the year, the sun is starting to warm up.
Yeah.
If you leave that out in the sun, that's been underground for the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Suddenly you stick it out in the sun,
Dry out quickly.
cook.
Yeah, right. Oh,
You know,
wow.
you feel the temperature of that
Yeah,
sun, and
it's
if you leave that on there too long,
Yeah.
you'll cook it.
Yeah.
So once we've done that,
Yep.
we then gather them all up, and then we head over there and we'll show you what
Oh,
happens over
great.
there.
Yeah.
What we do is, you can see how these, if I lift these, you can see how these are all lying on top of each other.
Oh, yeah.
See, all the way up to here.
Yep.
Okay. Now, we're keeping them out of the sun.
Yeah.
But all the leaves on top, acting as sunshade, are in the sun.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing then is that they're drying out. We'll leave this for 5 days.
Oh, only 5 days.
Well, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
So after they've been there, you know, then what we do is we grab a handful
Yep.
and we strip. And so that's what they look like once they've come out. So it's gone from that
Yep.
to that.
Yep.
When this dries,
Yeah.
which is really important, is that it dries from the inside out.
Yeah.
If you dry it too fast, you seal the outside, and then the moisture is trapped inside, and
Yeah.
then it will rot.
Yeah.
It has to dry slowly,
Yeah.
and so that's why we use this shed, and it's all hanging,
Yeah.
so that it can dry in its natural process.
Yeah.
And it takes, for these garlics, about this time of the year, probably 6 to 8 weeks for it to be fully matured.
Oh,
What we
okay.
call fully matured, fully dried, and then that will store.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll generally, we gather so much,
Yeah.
and it depends on, you know, whose hand it is doing it. But I try not to make them, some try to make them really big.
Yeah.
We don't want them too big because guys in the middle then don't really get the air movement.
Don't get dry.
You know, it's just a case of we just hang them on here,
Oh, yeah, I see.
and this gets filled up.
Yeah.
And then when it's all done
Yeah.
and it's ready to go, this is what it looks like.
So off to the market from here.
Yeah,
Oh, nice one. Great. I might take a couple for dinner, hey?
go for it.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Well, thanks so much for your time, Adam. That's
No, pleasure.
yeah.
So
great
now you
knowledge
can
to
grow
share.
some garlic.
Yeah, that's great. No, I don't need to. You do it for me.
Well, I've had a lot-